All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's Metro West Catholic matchup between the visiting Kennedy Eagles and your very own Chaska. And this contest is officially tried. Remember, against this our nation's flag for the city of our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose first stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare of bursting in air gave proof through thine eyes that our flag was still there. Oh, sing does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the
And now here tonight,
Game. Here's Fossen from the corner for three, and that's good. Tennessee Fossen starts out scoring quarter three for the Hawks.
Yeah, if Nicholson and Getz get the ball, the first place they look is that corner, whether it's Frick or Fossen here. They're always going to have an open shooter with the size advantage here.
Marian Hansberg, the top returning scorer from that Kennedy Eagle team last year had 13 per night for Kennedy. He hands off here. The first Kennedy shot is missed, and Chaska will grab the defensive rebound just under a minute in here from Chaska High School. Ryan Paul and Eric Krauscher with you here. Tuesday night basketball as Strazani drives to the hole for a pair. The second evening of Metro West Conference play here between Chaska and Bloomington Kennedy. Eagles cross the timeline. Near side, Dalton Smazal. Up to the top of the key for Amarian Hansford, the senior, had 9 points in the season opening loss against Bloomington, check that, against Benilde St. Margaret's. Marquez Monroe, the sophomore. Bounce pass across for Dalton Smazal. Kennedy working the swing offense here to start. Finds an open man, Marquez Monroe. Dribbles inside. Kennedy working things down. Kennedy only scored 38 points the other night. So far on this opening possession, they're in no urgency to put the ball near the hoop.
Well, no guy right now is within 20-some feet of the basket, and so you got 5 guys outside the arc. There's nobody posting up, and so they're just dribbling around. And, hey, what is Chaska known for each year?
Defense.
Yep. Yeah, Tennessee is really the guy I really want to watch today. Scoreless the other night. He should have, ample shooting opportunities. Got a little bit of a taste of the varsity level last year. He'll have a more expanded role this year.
Hansford drives into the corner. Dishes back out where he gets it back. Now to the top of the key for Chris Martin. Martin to Byron. Give and go off the screen and roll, and it's just over the hands. Caden Byron's pass just out of the reach of Martin Jr. 5:21 here first half on the Rome Team Realty Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Glad you've tuned in tonight on WatchCHBN.com. Chaska Community TV, Channel 14. Tipped pass out of bounds. Jack Frick will inbound. Strazani in the backcourt, the senior, leading returning scorer. The Hawks 24-4 team last year, averaged just over 13 a contest. He pulls from the far side and drains it. Hawks up 8 rip early.
That's a great sign for Luke. He's really added that the last year. You add in the fact that he's as good as it gets when it gets to driving it into the rim. Makes him a nice, complete player.
Hawks defense and bench is into it, and they nearly come away with a steal. Down low, Martin posting up. Dishes outside for Monroe, and the Hawks get a steal. Hands off for Strazani, and here comes Chaska. Frick near side, down low to Nicholson, who's posting up on the outside block. Nicholson, post move, nearly had it stripped, kicks out for Strazani to help. Now Fossen, cross-court pass. Frick from the wing, that's just a bit long, and Kennedy comes away with the board. Timeout on the floor. Jameen Cook wants to talk things over, and we'll have a break here from Chaska High School. First break of the evening. And we'll step aside momentarily here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network, brought to you by Rome Team Realty. Back from Chaska High School, Jameen Cook, the Bloomington Kennedy head coach, calls time and wants to talk over the first almost 4 minutes of play here from Chaska High School. Hawks are out to an 8-0 start here early, Eric.
Yeah, and then, Chaska's getting into their offense, able to get looks out of their offense. Kennedy, while they've had some inside looks and just haven't fallen, a lot more passing and not enough moving with their feet. And, that's why you call a timeout. You cannot let it get you got possession, you're down 8 early on, you want to get something in this possession right here. So good coaching there to call a timeout and calm the troops down a little bit.
On the other side of the bench is Dana Coleman in his 15th season manning the Chaska bench, taking the team to one state tournament. That was back in 2016. They're very confident they can make the return trip this season. More on the MSHSL state tournament situation later. 14-12 to go first half, just underway here from Chaska High School. I'm Ryan Paul, joined by Chaska Herald Sports editor Eric Krauscher. Bloomington Kennedy Eagles 0-1 on the season. Season opening loss against Benilde St. Margaret's back on last Thursday. Caden Byron drives in, dishes out into the corner for Dalton Smazal. Now outside back for Amarian Hansford. Hansford. Screen from Rajon Walker, and it tripped up Strazzani. Walker might have knocked his leg out towards Strazzanti, and it drew the foul. The illegal screen. Eagles still applying backcourt pressure. Hawks get it into the front court for Getz. Now back out to the top for Strazzani. Obviously, you'll notice all players wearing masks here this evening, part of the State of Minnesota COVID-19 protocols. All players, both on the floor and on the bench, all coaches, everybody in the building required to wear a mask.
As we heard, a muffled announcer as well.
Yep, Tony DiLorenzo in the building tonight on the PA system, and can definitely hear him through the mask. Brady Nicholson takes a spill in the lane. He's obviously been hindered by that ankle injury, Eric, and hopefully he didn't just re-injure it there. It doesn't look like he's, looks like it's an upper body.
Arm, yeah. Landed pretty hard.
Yep.
That's a big body coming down.
Foul was against Kennedy. Their second of the night. Inbound pass for Getz. Hook shot up, left it short, a little too far away. Approaching the 13-minute mark here, and we'll see Jacoby Lyles check in at the next dead ball. Eric, we spoke about him in the pregame show. Marion Hansford over to Smazal, just outside the lane. Far side. Kennedy really hasn't got any good looks yet, Eric, even.
Yeah, they had a couple inside looks that one didn't even draw iron. But, you know, again, some of that's Chaska's defense, and some of it's Kennedy's lack of offense.
Brady Nicholson's going to check out and rest that shoulder, it looks like he's grabbing. Strazzani will also take a seat. Allows Ben Carter and Jacoby Lyles to enter. Carter, the first time we've seen him this season. Senior for Chaska. Has the ball in the corner here. He fires a three and drains that one. How's that to start, Eric? Ben Carter for three.
If you're a Chaska Hawk, you better know how to hit that corner three-pointer.
Yep. Quick turnaround for Kennedy. Good defensive rebound by Jacoby Lyles. Carter once again in the corner. Instead, he'll hand off. Lyles driving, had it grabbed right out of his hands, and we got a foul. Believe it's going to go against Kennedy.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at every year this team has somebody who steps in, somebody new. And last year, Mahat Fasal was that player. I honestly think he was one of the team MVPs last year. Just what he brought to this team, and you have Strazzani back, you have Getz back, Nicholson, Frick. Who's going to be that next guy? The other day it was Lyles. There'll be other guys, Carter Fawson, Paul maybe, that are looking to fill in that next role.
12:09 to go. Strazzani, after a quick swig of water, is back on the floor for Dana. Lyles the entry pass. Mismatch down low. Great post move, and Jacoby Lyles is his first points of the night.
Well, I mean, you look at Lyles, one of the biggest assets. He's only 6'3", but you look at his bottom half. He's able to move defenders just by his legs. You're never going to get called for that. It's only the arms.
Pull-up jumper from Hansford, well short. Offensive rebound, though, by Jaleel Donnelly. Here's Hansford back at the top of the key. Under 12 to go. Screen set. Walker at the top. Smazal. Walker on the far side, guarded by Strazzani right in front of the Chaska bench. Now a double team. Getz comes in. Elbow jumper, no good. That was off the fingers of Walker. Spencer Getz with speed away with the rebound. He dishes out on the far side. Strazzani avoids a contested three. Now Carter pulls one, and it's not going to count, though. There was a foul off ball underneath. Player control foul. Strazzani, the guilty party on that one. Caught some body as he was entering. Marquez Monroe, the sophomore, back onto the floor for Kennedy.
Kennedy just needs to get a hoop, right?
Yep. 13-0 here from Chaska High School. Ryan Paul, Eric Krauscher here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network, brought to you tonight by the Rome Team Realty. Hansford for Kennedy. Outside for Smazal. Ramon Walker, the junior, got 6 points in the season opener against Benilde. Hands off for the 8th grader, Jaleel Johnson. Number 2, Ramon Walker. On the far side now for Hansford. Kennedy just with no offensive tempo so far here in the first 7.5 minutes. 13-0, yet to find a bucket. Donnelly, crossover. He's got some good moves going against Strazani, and he finally buys a basket. That's an 8th grader, number 2. Jaleel Donnelly had 4 against Benilde the other night, and he starts out scoring here for Kennedy.
There's a reason why you elevate 8th and 9th graders to this level, right? They're ready early on. They've matured.
You can see already in this game how shifty Donnelly is, and the spark that they might need here. And foul going in is Lyles gets called for the foul. Offensive. Sounds like they called a lowered shoulder.
Thanks for bailing me out. Because
Yep.
if you said it was the lower half of the body,
Yep.
that would counter what I said.
I-
That doesn't get called.
I-
But there wasn't much contact
Yeah.
up top. He just used his body.
Ball goes back to Kennedy off of the offensive foul. Second of the game for Chaska in the offensive category. Smazal, the junior, near side for Marquez Monroe, the sophomore. Only 3 seniors on this Kennedy roster. Chaska has well more than that. Turnaround. Good by Caden Byron, one of those seniors for Kennedy. And the Eagles are on a 4-0 run.
Well, if you look at those baskets, where were they? Both on the drive, in the lane,
Fading
short in
away.
the basket. And so going around the arc isn't how the coach wants to run this offense. You got to get into the lane a little bit, drive, be aggressive. They were on those last 2 drives.
Kennedy going to apply a lot of backcourt pressure here. Strazani will be face guarded by the 8th grader, John Donnelly. 9:20 to play. Strazani gets it into the front court, into the corner for Lyles. Back to Strazani. That's easy for 2. Give and go. Lyles to Strazani for a pair.
It's not easy for everybody, but that's a really, really nice play by Strazani to switch to the left midair.
Another whistle, and they'll call another offensive foul. This time it's against Kennedy, an illegal screen. Sends the ball back to Chaska. We'll see some subs. Matthew Coleman into the game for Chaska, as well as Spencer Getz.
I mean, I think you said something about backcourt pressure. I think you're going to see it a lot from teams. You had Zach Leah, who was starting point guard for 3 years, and now they know, okay, Luke was an off guard last year. If he's the primary, we're going to press him a little bit and see how he handles it.
Coleman was tripped up as he was bringing the ball up the floor. Obviously, Matthew Coleman, number 1, the 3rd son of head coach Dana Coleman, his last son to come through this program. Andrew from the 2016 class, and Ben from last year's class. I say Luke because it's Strazani who's driving through and getting hacked on the way up. Chaska already in the bonus. That was Kennedy's 7th foul. Strazani to the free throw line for 2.
Matthew's been in a lot of games in this gym, watching his brothers before then when his dad was the head coach, and I'm sure he's ready for his time, right?
Stands just 5'7" as a junior. Definitely the most undersized of the 3, but he definitely has some speed.
That's where you always wonder where Andrew's 6'4" size comes in.
Substitutions taking place here in between free throws, 16-4. On the floor for Chaska, you've got Coleman and Fossen in the backcourt, as well as Strazani, who just made that free throw, and then Matthew Paul and Spencer Getz as the forwards. Second one is good by Strazanti. Floater by Walker falls for Kennedy. Check that, it was Hansford with the basket as we go under 8.5 to go. Paul's going to be called for an illegal screen here as Marquez Monroe was rolling off of it. Paul will exit with his first foul. 5 offensive fouls already called here in this one.
4 on moving screens.
Yep.
3 on moving screens at least.
Hansford bringing it up, sending it into the corner for Monroe. Monroe, a quick pull for 3, and that's good.
Yeah, it seemed like once Kennedy got that first basket, now they're a little bit more into their offense, and sometimes it just takes that first one. You don't want to fall behind 13-0 or whatever it was, but.
Down low, Brady Nicholson couldn't handle the entry pass. Turnover gives Kennedy the ball back. Under 8 to play here, first half. Tajon Pearson, the sophomore into the game, running the point for Jameen Cook. Into the corner, Ramon Walker nearly turns it over. Amarian Hansford tried to send it down low, but there were 3 Hawks in the way of that pass. And Chaska will come away with it. Here comes Matthew Coleman. Taking it in, he had that stripped from him, and he touched it out of bounds. Yet another turnover. Gives the ball back to Kennedy again. Coleman exits, Frick back in the game, and he'll guard the ball here as Hansford brings it up. Hansford trying his moves around Frick, finally passes off for Tajon Pearson. Elbow jumper from Donnelly is good, the 8th grader. Showing to be that spark, like you said, Eric, here for Kennedy. They've got a quick 11 points here in the last few minutes.
Yeah, 4 points against Benilde. He's already had 4 points to this game, and little left-hander who's the 8th grader's guarding senior Spencer Getz.
Getz trying to get it out to Frick. Finally he does. Frick's corner 3 is just short. Got caught running away from it. Stays 17-11.
That's a travel.
Goes uncalled. Entry pass down low for Chris Martin. Martin fading away. Need a little more mustard on that one. Here comes Getz with a head of steam. Nicholson posting up against Martin. Martin, closest thing they have to Brady Nicholson's 6'9" height. Nicholson still found himself falling away on that one. Comes Kennedy. Hansford. Jaleel Donnelly. Monroe against Getz. Monroe driving, and he's fouled. Hits the deck hard, and I'll get 2 free throws.
Well, if Chaska thought that Kennedy was going to go away down 13-0, they haven't. They're a couple free throws away from being only down 4 now.
Marquez Monroe, the sophomore. As we noted, not a lot of experience on this Kennedy roster. Amarian Hansford, the senior, top returning scorer from last year with 13.1. He actually led the team last year with 13 points a night. But other than that, you've got Jaleel Donnelly, an 8th grader. Tajon Pearson, a sophomore. Marquez Monroe, another sophomore. Big man, Chris Martin, a junior. Timeout on the floor. Dana Coleman wants to talk it over. We'll step aside momentarily here. You're watching Hawks basketball on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Back from Chaska High School here on the Rome Team Real Estate Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Today we do want to thank the Rome Team who have helped thousands of families expertly transition into the next chapter. Emily and Jan are known for their networking, negotiating, and ability to get the job done. Go to www.rometeamrealestate.com to learn more. Coming out of the Dana Coleman timeout, check that, it's Kennedy who's got the game within 5 points, and Dana Coleman wanted to talk things over with this Hawks club.
Well, I think you have Getz with 0 and Frick with 0. Like to maybe draw something up for them. You got Frick here at the top, the key.
Carter in the corner. Not who you'd expect to be pulling right out of the timeout. Just a bit long off the back iron. Here comes Kennedy. Tajon Pearson trying one. That's no good, and some contact underneath on the rebound. Jameen Cook, coach for Kennedy, didn't think there was much there. I really didn't either. There was some contact, but I don't know, it was pretty close.
Yeah, Carter mistimed his jump, and he was coming down, and the guy out-jumped him, right? And got him a little bit, but, in that situation, if you have two hands on the basketball, it's going to be more of a foul. If you swat it like he did, then you're saying let the contact go.
Kennedy with 8 fouls in the first half. Chaska with 4. Hawks get the offensive rebound off of Carter's missed 1-and-1. Strazzani driving, had it stripped, and Kennedy comes away cleanly with it. 5.5 to go here, first half. Donley drives, behind the back pass, put it right in the spot where Chris Martin wanted it. He just couldn't handle it. This 8th grader's got something to show for herself. They say it last went out off the Hawks, so Kennedy will have a baseline inbound play on offense. Marquez Monroe, sophomore, to the top for Donley. He's guarded by Strazzanti. Elbow J from Hansford's just off. Gets with a strong defensive rebound. 5 minutes to play, first half. 5-point game. Offense is slowed here dramatically for Chaska. Jameen Cook has his team fired up. Gets down low, posting up. Couldn't get that one to fall. Tries the second attempt, but that was no good. 17-12. Donley driving. He's cut down by Carter, forces an awkward angle. Carter with the rebound. Gets at the top, adjusts his black face mask. Outside arc screen set by Nicholson. Frick driving for 2. Nice move by the senior Jack Frick. Get Chaska back in the points column.
Yeah, we've seen Jack the last 2 seasons, and a lot of his points have come from outside the arc, so that's a really strong move.
Marquez Monroe's corner 3 is short by a mile, but they say Nicholson was the last to touch it as it went out of bounds. With 4:09 to go here, Kennedy another far side inbound on the baseline.
Yeah, I think Frick's a guy that's really benefited from playing football the last couple years. You can just see, as a sophomore, it was okay, spot up and shooter type player, and you can see he's really filled out in that last couple years. His defense is very, very good, and football helps, really helps.
On the inbound, Frick is called for a foul as the ball was tossed. Eagles gonna sky it over everybody, and Hansford will catch at the volleyball line. He rolls in with the left, unable to control it though. Frick hands off for Nicholson, and the Hawks will come away cleanly. 4 to play here, first half. Chaska High School, Rome Team Real Estate Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network as Nicholson pulls off the front iron and tipping up over the backboard out of bounds.
So Hawks hit a couple threes early on. Strazzani hit one, and Fossen hit one. Carter hit one, but ever since they've been off.
Yep.
And that's allowed Kennedy to get back into the game.
19-12 score here from Chaska High School. Brian Paul, Eric Krauscher. Appreciate you joining us here for this Tuesday night Metro West matchup. Screen and roll, down low, Walker posting up, has to kick out, and it's right into the hands of Fossen. Fossen pushing ahead for Lyles. Lyles takes it in, through a couple of swats, tries to go back up again. That's a no call. Now Smazal at the other end. He falls hard. No call there.
Makeup.
Frick down at the other end now. Here's Nicholson straight away. That's off. Lyles the rebound. Lyles back up with it and count it. Jacoby Lyles through contact, the basket and one.
Well, I mean, that play right there reminds me of one person. He's on court right now. Nope, he's off the court right now. Spencer Getz. I mean, that's been Spencer's bread and butter for the last 3 years. That offensive glass guy gets, a lot of it is positioning. Where do you want to be on the court when the shot goes up and facing the basket, kind of get to know your teammates and where their shot goes off, and fantastic finish, 3-point play.
Lyles completes the 3-point play. Some confusion on the floor.
Yep, we got it.
Was it and one? Yep. Referees were unsure whether it was 2 shots or not, but and one. I'm sure Chaska would be happy with the second free throw, but as we approach 3 minutes to go here in the first half, Hawks are back up by double digits. Caden Byron inside, dishes out for Walker. Pearson. Walker inside. Misses the glass completely, and Strazzani's harassed. Brings up 2 free throws in the double bonus here.
Oh, I saw that there was 4 guys within 10 feet of the basket for Chaska. When I was watching back of that Cooper game, there was only 2 guys, and so I'm sure that's a point of emphasis from Coach Coleman and the staff is, hey, we need guys in there getting that ball. No second chance points.
2:41. Strazzani stands at the free throw line, double bonus. 10 plus in the fouls category for Kennedy so far. See Brady Bean into the game for the first time tonight. Kennedy's other big man, he's a senior, number 42. And Strazzani's 2 for 2 at the line. 25-12. 24-12. Donley checking back outside. 3 ball pulled by Caden Byron. That's no good. Bean underneath, unable to finish the putback, and Chaska comes away with the board. Strazzani pushing. Contested layup. Goes out of bounds after Bean couldn't grab it. Ball will stick with Chaska. Gets to Strazzani. Strazzani back inside. No look pass. Lyles couldn't finish. Great opportunity for the Hawks. Just couldn't capitalize. Pearson drives. Whistle behind the play. And it'll be Lyles tagged with a foul.
Frick, actually, will be a second.
You're right. Frick, the guilty party on that one. And it will send the sophomore Tajon Pearson to the charity stripe. Under 2 to play. First one's good. Hansford back into the game. He'll give Dalton Smazal a chance to catch his breath. Second one by the sophomore is good. Strazzani going to trot this one up for Chaska. He'll be picked up at the timeline by Pearson. Frick finds it in the corner. Dumps down low for Lyles. Lyles up with the right, no good. Loose ball. They say Getz was the last to touch it, and they'll give it to Kennedy.
Hey, Lyles has been in there 3 or 4 different times, and he's come away with a couple baskets, but you like his aggressiveness. He's going towards the hoop.
Definitely asserting himself here in the first 2 games on this varsity roster. Played mostly sophomore on the team last year. Strazzani finger roll, no good. Frick off the pass from Strazzani. Now Getz drives in, loses it as he goes up. And they'll give him 2 free throws.
Kennedy's had active hands.
Yep.
Every time they go down right down Broadway, somebody's deflecting the ball. It's happened about 4 or 5 different times. That's only the first time they've been called, so good active hands, as the coach says.
Gets for a pair at the free throw line. This one's well short. Frick will grab a seat as Ben Carter checks back in, and Brady Bean will check out, replaced by Chris Martin. Second one is good for the Chaska senior, Spencer Getz. 1:20 to go here, first half. Pearson, inside. Byron kicks out for Hansberg. Now to Walker. Byron, far side for Monroe, kicking back out. Kennedy moving the ball around as we go under 60 seconds to play here in half number 1. Down low, Byron can't finish, but Chris Martin goes back up and gets the call. And one opportunity here for Chris Martin, the big Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, I keep going back to the 13-0 start for Chaska. Martin was outside of the arc for so much of that. And ever since they've taken that timeout, he's been down low. He's been active on the glass. He's a nice looking player for them, gives them a little size, and like I said, he's very active in the offense.
46 seconds left here, first half. Far side, Ben Carter. Dribbles to the top. Now to Strazani on the near side. He's picked up there by Hansberg. Count starts. Strazani works his way off of it. Far side, Fossen, 20 seconds to go. Kennedy defense here, picking up in the last minute of the first half.
Yeah, it starts with coaching. Coleman loves the defense, and you can see the efforts being applauded by the coach.
Strazani driving, and he was held. Say it was on the floor, though. Boy, I sure thought that was on the way up, of anything.
Yeah, he definitely grabbed it as he was
Yeah.
rising.
Doesn't matter, though. They're going to get 2
shots.
free throws out of it anyway. With 4 1/10 to go here, Strazani will get sent to the line. That was the best 45 seconds of basketball we've seen Kennedy play all night. Hawk Seniors first is no good. Hawks off to a strong start in this first half, but have kind of mellowed out ever since. Over 2 goes Strazani at the stripe. Half-court shot at the horn is no good for Caden Byron. And the first half ends, low-scoring affair, 25-17. After 18 minutes of play here on this Tuesday night Metro West Conference matchup. Eric, your first half thoughts?
Like you said, I mean, really great start for Chaska, and they scored 12 points the rest of the way. Some of it might be complacency. It's like, hey, we're up 13. But, it's one of those things. They got to finish a little bit better down low. And if the threes aren't hitting, you got to hit some other shots.
That's Eric Krauscher. Say if you like Eric's work, make sure you check out the Chaska Herald. Subscribe to local newspaper, www.chaskaherald.com. Make sure to follow Eric on Twitter, @ChanChaskaSport. If you're local resident, Chan, Chaska. Eric, what other communities do you cover in your publication?
Oh, don't forget Victoria, Carver. We got them all.
That's chaskaherald.com. Make sure you subscribe and support your local news. We'll be right back after this short break. It's 25-17 at the break between Chaska and Kennedy on the Rome Team Real Estate, Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Emily Rome-Welter.
And I'm Jan Rome, and we're the Rome team of Edina Realty.
We realize we'd love to all be together in the gym supporting the Hawks this year with basketball. But since it's not safe to do so, and since we're big supporters of the school and the community, we wanted to sponsor this broadcast for you so that you can enjoy it from the safety of your home. Go Hawks!
Welcome back inside Chaska High School. Final 18 minutes of play here in this Metro West Conference battle between the Chaska Hawks and the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles. Eric, it was a slow offensive start for Kennedy, but they battled back, had the Hawks lead cut to 5 at one point. Chaska really needs to get a spark here going in this second half.
Yeah, I mean, I think these first 3 minutes, 4 minutes are very telling for both these teams. Boy, if I'm Kennedy, I would have started Donnelly and just seen what he gives me the first couple minutes of this half.
Hansford, who's been shut down through 18 minutes, starts out here running the point for this second half. Chaska's leading scorer, Luke Strazzanti, with 11 points in the first half. Starts out at the point for the Hawks. Getz with the ball here, 30 seconds in. Frick back up top for the aforementioned Strazzani. Getz, Frick. Hawks swinging around to Fossen. Fossen driving in. Nicholson outside the paint, trying to work his way in, and he gets it off the glass for 2. First points of the half put Chaska back up by 10, and Brady Nicholson with the bucket to start out the second half.
You know, one of the things coming into the season, I was wondering is how many masks kids would bring and switch. Looks like we got a mask change for Luke Strazzani.
Yep.
Throw away one.
Obviously, you know, mixed reviews coming from the kids about, you know, does it bother them? Does it make it harder to breathe?
I've been watching it the entire time, and it's funny because every time somebody talks, it slides underneath the nose, and then
contested layup goes non-called. Jack Frick driving. Put back by Getz for 2. Hawks back up by a dozen.
I like that take from Frick. Very aggressive. confident that he can dribble the ball coast to coast. Really nice.
Kennedy. Chris Martin hands off for Caden Byron. Byron, the left-handed hook, no good. That was a low percentage shot. Ball's tipped out of bounds. It'll stick with the Eagles. Next up for Kennedy, they'll go to Chanhassen a week from today. They're off for a week. Have the Storm next Tuesday. For the Hawks this Friday at Chanhassen. The Storm broadcasting team will have that one for you. Owen Slindy, Ryan Sammons for that one. But right back here on Friday night, Eric, you and I, for the girls bout between those two teams. Chaska and Chanhassen, always a fun one. Storm, obviously, with a lot of talent. Chaska with arguably some of the best talent in the state of Minnesota. That'll be a fun one coming up on Friday night here. Right back here, watch chbn.com.
Well, you have 4 Division I players on the court. You know, two that committed from Chaska. Kennedy Sanders definitely has a chance to be a Division I player. Callan Hake is committed to Nebraska from Chanhassen. So, yeah, I mean, that'll be a fun up and down game to watch.
Fantastic entry pass from Strazanti to Brady Nicholson. Eric, we're going to keep it right here. You know, looking forward on this 2020 season, obviously a lot more conference play. You know, ratio-wise, you're not going to have as much non-conference play. But for Chaska boys, you got a couple tough non-conference opponents. You've got Hopkins, Minnetonka, Minnehaha Academy is really that one that stands out as the last game of the year. What are you expecting out of this Chaska boys team? Is obviously we hope we can have a section in state tournament. This is a team that they feel pretty confident about being able to move along in Section 2-4A.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the one benefit to this weird 2021 schedule, they're playing a lot of these conference games early on. Some of your money, big-time opponents are going to be at the end of the season. Well, I like that. I mean, I like that Chaska will be better prepared. Will they beat Minnehaha Academy? Probably not. But I think I mean, the fact that Minnehaha Academy, with what they have, says, yeah, Dana Coleman, we'll put you on this schedule. Yep. With 6, you know, not everyone has as big of a conference, but, I mean, that just shows you the respect that Chaska year in and year out gets, and teams want to play them. Yep. Hopkins says, yeah, bring it on. So, but they, you know, I think they have Minnetonka, I think they have Edina, so it's a fun non-conference schedule, and the girls have a great non-conference schedule too, which is great for them.
We will have all home boys and girls Chaska Hawks basketball games right here on the Chaska Hawks broadcast network as Hansford knocks down a free throw line jumper. One will send a thanks to Emily and Jan Rome, who partner with their clients to prepare, price, and sell their home. Put the Rome team to work to sell your home. That's www.rometeamrealestate.com. Appreciate their support of this Chaska boys and girls basketball team all season long. Nicholson contested layup. Strong start to the half for Brady, Eric, as he's going to line for two more after he just had a fabulous lay-in prior to the timeout.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the right side of the court for him with the left hand, and he's caught the last 2 balls in the blocks, you know. That's where he needs to be, especially with his size.
Brady, obviously the junior younger brother of former Hawk Cole Nicholson. Cole, the holder of the highest single game points scored in a game with 51 against Cooper a couple years ago. Strazani's 3 is one to forget about, and Kennedy gets the ball back left to right now across your screen here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 things that stick up in my mind every time thinking about Cole is when he hit that 3 at the state quarterfinal against, and he had the hands up. And then obviously him and Jarvis Ormosa from Orono. And what did we go, 3 OTs that game? It was so grueling. It was so fun to watch.
That sure was a fun one, and you know, he probably had one of the best defensive performances against Jarvis that Jarvis had to face all year that night. And
they were so exhausted by the overtime. I think they both fouled out, or at least Cole did, just because.
Fossen driving in, ran right into Dalton Smazal, who positioned himself for the charge. Not a lot of contact, but it was well sold and well positioned by Dalton Smazal, so he gets the call on that one. And it gives Kennedy the ball back.
Yeah, I mean, Fosston really did almost a great job. And you know, you could just see him try to not go into it, but like you said, 21, Dalton was, he was planted, he was ready for it. And that's, I mean, that's things I'm seeing from Coach Cook's team here today. Is some good defensive play.
Spencer Getz with a great steal and feed to Luke Strazzani for 2. That was a really nice looking play there from the Chaska Hawks. Both Getz on the defensive side and Strazzani the finish at the other end. Spin around, Caden Byron for 2 inside the lane. 13-point game. Quick update from the Chaska Community Center. Chaska boys hockey is tied 0-0 with Hill Murray, the defending state champions. That game's available at mnhockey.tv. Here's Frick from the Hawk, no good. As I was saying, Minnesota Wild's Kevin Fallness and former CHBN commentator Colin Jacobson working that game for mnhockey.tv if you want to put both of us on at the same time. We'll try to get an update from the girls basketball game. They're at Kennedy tonight. We will try to provide an update for you on that score as well. Strazzani driving through some hand traffic. Barrels through to the hole for 2.
Yeah, I mean, Luke's a special player when he's going to the hoop. You know, he's obviously a good jump shooter, one of the best free throw shooters on the team, but he's at his best when he's going at the hoop. Long, lanky, shifty with the ball in the air.
One thing that really stands out about this Hawks team, you know, we talked about Cole Nicholson, but aside from that, you've got Luke Strazzani, whose older brother Alex was on that 2016 team.
Yep.
You've got Dana Coleman and Ben Coleman, who obviously Dana Coleman and Matthew Coleman.
Yep.
Andrew Coleman was part of the 2016 team. Ben Coleman graduated last year. You've got, let's see, Spencer Getz.
Matthew Paul.
Matthew Paul. He's had someone come through the program. You've got Spencer Getz. His whole family is, you know, gone through either Chaska or Chanhassen High School. You know,
Jack Frick's sister was, she was at least her best sport was track and field, but I think early on she played basketball.
I mean, no shortage. You know, these kids. What I'm trying to say is these kids have all been around the gym in some form or another for a very long time, outside of just playing in their own games. Being in this high school gym is definitely not new for a lot of these kids on this Chaska roster. Strazzani, coast to coast, can't finish, but Getz is there to clean it up. Spencer Getz and Luke Strazzani have really come alive here in the second half. We go to under 11.5 to play here. Quickly in, Martin. Looked like a travel, but they're going to call a foul instead. Offensive foul against Marquez Monroe, excuse me.
Well, we've been saying it for this is our 4th year now covering Spencer Getz, and you know, I think the biggest thing with Spencer is, you know, he's always been that role player and done it great. He's going to be featured a little bit more. He had some really nice inside moves against Cooper. Here he is right here off the glass.
Right on cue.
You know, I think, you know, it started with football. Last year on the state championship team, you know, he's a tight end, he's a blocking guy. Where is he this year? Middle linebacker, leading the team in tackles, a captain. You know, he runs the Wildcat. He's all right with being in this role right now, you know. Whoever gets that kid in whatever sports he decides to play is getting one tough guy who just, he's going to make your team better.
Frick to Lyles down low. Lyles pushed by Hansford. I'm not really sure what Hansford was trying to accomplish there, but Lyles gets an opportunity at a 3-point play. As we were just discussing, the Chaska Hawks football season from last year, which Spencer gets most certainly shined upon. All of those football games are available on our website, watchchbn.com. Click on the Game Archives tab. You can watch all CHBN events going back to 2016, and that includes this fall's football season.
Another on the floor call.
Yep. It was Rajon Walker who was driving. Looked like he was going up with it, but they say he's on the floor. And here's Jaleel Donnelly, the 8th grader, going against Ben Carter. Donnelly falling away. Hands off for Caden Byron. Byron, trapped by Strazzanti. Now back up to the top for Jaleel Donnelly. Donnelly just looks like a basketball player. You know, he's undersized, but boy, does he have the shifty hands and the shifty feet.
But you looked at him, he doesn't look like an 8th grader, though.
No.
He's skinny, but
Yep. Carries himself much older than that. Getz with a steal off the Hansford dribble. Getz to Strazani to the hole. Can't finish. Getz is in there. Taps out to Carter to the top for Frick. Frick a long way away. Thought better of that three-point opportunity.
Down low.
Getz going against the 8th grader down low. And foul. Hansford, you know, Hansford's their top returner. We've called his name a few times throughout the years in these conference games. He just looks gassed. And, you know, you don't, obviously he's played a lot of minutes tonight, but those have been a couple lazy fouls where you don't know if it has to do with the mask or just a little winded.
Well, I played men's boot hockey last night, and I can tell you about being winded.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think a lot of these guys are still finding their legs.
Yep.
It shows who did stuff, you know, but there was only so much you could do.
Right.
So early on, you know, I think it's good to use a little deeper bench and see what some guys can do.
Strazani to the hole for 2. Chaska quickly up a 20-piece. Lyles cuts down. Donnelly driving, and the Hawks get the steal.
One more.
Up ahead for Lyles. Lyles will take it himself for 2. 47-25. Chaska starting to run away with it. Jameen Cook needs a second to chat with his team, get him a break. Gives us a second to step aside here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Emily Rome-Welter.
And I'm Jan Rome, and we're the Rome team of Edina Realty.
We realize we'd love to all be together in the gym supporting the Hawks this year with basketball. But since it's not safe to do so, and since we're big supporters of the school and the community, we wanted to sponsor this broadcast for you so that you can enjoy it from the safety of your home. Go Hawks!
Back from Chaska High School, Ryan Paul, Eric Krauscher with you. Thanks for sharing part of your Tuesday evening with us on this Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network Rome Team Realty. Tuesday night basketball. The real estate market in 2020 was red hot, including for the Rome team and their clients. Experience matters. Call the Rome team or visit them online at www.rometeamrealestate.com to learn more. Eric, just in the commercial break, you'd mentioned to me something that I've kind of neglected to talk about so far this season is that both Chaska basketball teams are ranked 4 in the top 10 polls so far this season.
You know, the girls, obviously, a lot is known about that team,
Yep.
right? Chaska, I think you look at the experience, but like I was saying a little bit ago, it's respect. Every year they seem to be in that top 10, and you know, coming off a 24-win season, you got four guys that played significant minutes back, and so it's that respect factor. And so they start the season number 4, definitely the highest of the Section 2 4A schools.
We'll get to see the Chaska girls team for the first time this season on CHBN this Friday. They host the annual Chaska Chanhassen game. Here's Frick from the corner. That's off. But as I was saying, Tara Seifert's club definitely one of the teams to be reckoned with in in Class 4 this year. Obviously, their season was cut short by Eden Prairie last year. That was a fun game. But this season, you know, hoping for a different outcome. And I think both of these Chaska teams, Tara Seifert with the girls and boys coach Dana Coleman, they're both very confident that these could be the years.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is the last year for Kaylee Van Epps. She's, you know, one of the seniors on the team. Kelsey Willems and Kayla Hendrickson as well. You know, so Mallory Hyrie and Kennedy Sanders still have a year left. But I mean, this group they've been together for years. They've all grown a little bit. You know, not a lot of teams have somebody who can guard Mallory Hyre, who's committed to the University of Minnesota.
Right.
So, but that section's loaded. You have four teams in the top 10. Eden Prairie, and then the big ones is Eden Prairie, and you got Minnetonka, who was even better this year with the addition of Canna Lockett.
Extracurriculars after the play. There was a charge called. And then Caden Byron, the senior, got into it with some Hawks. Spencer gets the victim of the guilty party of the personal foul. Dana Coleman pleading his case about what happened after the play. We obviously saw a technical foul last week on Friday night. Cooper was assessed a technical for slamming the ball on the floor. This luckily didn't escalate, but definitely teams fired up. And we have a whistle here as the ball's crossed the timeline. Looks like it might have a timing issue.
No. Warning.
Warning. Bench warning.
Bench.
Yep, bench warning.
It wasn't Coach Coleman.
Donnelly, far side, pulls his mask down, throws it out of bounds. Hawks ball. And that mask will quickly come back on as the officials grab a hold of that. Speaking with MSHSL official Paul Harris last night over a burger at Willie McCoy's, we discussed the new MSHSL mask enforcement guidelines. It's kind of a 3-strike policy, as opposed to more of a discretionary thing, which they started the season out with. But now it's a 3-strike thing. First strike, be just a warning. Second one, you go to the coach, and then the third one, you're going to sit out until that mask can come back on. So definitely being taken seriously here by officials, as we've just seen Jaleel Donnelly have to pull his mask back up. Foul here on the Eagles. As Strazzani was driving it, it'll send the Hawks senior to the free throw line once again.
Yeah, it's pretty much like the jersey thing, right?
Yep.
They give you a warning. Now, personally, here's my opinion. It shouldn't just be the referee's job to make sure.
Well, yep.
It should be the coaching staff. It should be your teammates. Because the goal, honestly, the goal is to keep playing basketball, right?
Yep.
So let's do what we can to keep the game going. And if wearing a mask and, you look down the court, most mouths are covered. I see 2 noses from Chaska covered right now, but it's tough. You're moving and stuff. You're exerting a lot of energy, and it is a tough thing, but.
Quick drive by Kennedy for a pair. Strazzani quickly down the floor, jukes out Donnelly. Now off to his senior co-captain, Jack Frick. Strazzani back at the top of the key. He's guarded by Donnelly. Carter, wing 3. Good! Ben Carter's second 3 of the game. And his first varsity time of the season. Hawks 51, Kennedy 27 with just over 6 to play here. Smazal to the top for Pearson. Donnelly. Driving in Smazal, whistle, that one's on the floor, and I can agree with that one. Under 6 to play. Chaska's 5th foul of the half. Kennedy also at that number.
Yeah, just I was watching Ben Carter because he's 6'2". He doesn't really have a guard body, but he actually moves his feet really well. He's been up against smaller guys tonight and done a nice job keeping the ball in front of him.
Contested shot, and there's a push. Yep, you'll get a technical there. Ramon Walker, the junior, made the shot and then pushed off of Spencer Getz afterwards, and he'll get teed up for that every day of the week. Jameen Cook looking for an explanation. It happened right in front of him. The assistant coaches are letting him know that it is the right call, and
I saw that too.
Yeah. I think that was the right call. Get control of the game, and Jack Frick will be the one to shoot the free throws on the technical. So 2 games, 2 technicals for Chaska this year, both on opposing teams. Second free throw good, 52-29. Hawks offense really coming alive here in this second half. Chaska will get the ball following the technical. Coaching moment for Junior Ramon Walker and Jameen Cook on the sidelines. 5.5 to play. Strazzani picked up by Hansford. Hansford gets beat. Strazzani to the hole, contested. It's like he might have been hit on the way up.
He's going to get a technical for flexing his muscle at the guy.
Strazzani will get teed up as well. Well,
you can't flex.
It's a, yep.
Especially the possession after a technical, right?
Yep. It's got to be smart about it.
If it's intended, add another player.
Yep.
It's just, the NFL, if you do something,
unsportsmanlike, yep.
The flag goes. So this is high school basketball.
Taunting, yep. That's a foul, yep. Hansford at the line for 2 technical free throws, making it a 54-31 game. So officials trying to control this one. Obviously, in a lopsided game like we're seeing here, tensions can flare from both teams. Here's Jaleel Donnelly, the 8th grader, top of the key. Not the first time we've seen an 8th grader here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Obviously, Kennedy Sanders for the girls team played quite a bit as an 8th grader, if I'm not mistaken.
Kaylee Van Epps class.
Yep,
There's
you're
a
right.
5-year starter as well. Mallory Heyer came up as an 8th grader.
Down low, Nicholson. Count it. Strong showing for Nicholson second half so far.
Yeah, I mean, his effort's been really good today, and he's done a nice job moving his body towards the hoop. He had that one fadeaway, and everything since has been towards the hoop.
4:40 to go here. Nicholson misses the +1. Donnelly rolls off, pulls up, no good. Nicholson there for the Chaska rebound. Hawks up next, as I mentioned, go to Chanhassen this Friday. Strazzani driving to the hole, yet another and one.
He's having a heck of a game.
Absolutely is.
He just sees daylight, and he goes right for it. They haven't had any answer for him, and there's no help defense coming.
11 first half points for the senior. He's definitely
at 25 range.
Yep.
And I do think he's the most important player on this team, just because of his ability to do so many different things on the offensive side. But he's also a really good defender.
Had 12 on Friday against Cooper in the opener. Showing himself here very well. Hansford pulls up from NBA range. That's no good. Nicholson boxes out for the rebound.
Really good positioning.
As I was saying, to finish that thought, Chaska with Chanhassen on Friday. First year head coach for the Storm, Eric. What can you tell us about the Storm this season?
Yeah, I mean, they started a 9th grader at point guard the other day. They have probably 4 guys back from last year's rotation, all seniors. 3 seniors and 1 junior. You got Adam Strobel, Patrick Brick is a junior, Austin Bowl, and missing one guy here off the top of my head, Mike Shea. I mean, it's going to come, right?
Yep.
When you have a coach for 11 years and then you have a new coach who comes in from a different program, it's going to be a different style, and so it's going to take some time to adjust. I think Coach Christofferson, figured that was going to happen.
Yep.
So, it'll take some time to get things, but, his pedigree, his last 2 stops have been 2 years in Eden Prairie with the incredible group that he worked with, and then Austin for 9 years.
Yep.
His 2 mentors coaching are Coach Fadness and Flom, and they're 2 of the best in Minnesota.
Absolutely, yep. That's this Friday at Chanhassen High School. The Storm broadcasting team will have that covered for you. And then back here on the same night, right here on WatchCHPN.com, the girls' battle between the Hawks and the Storm. Inadvertent sounding of the horn, it would appear. But Eric, obviously, we talked a little bit about the Chaska girls team. Obviously, the Storm girls team. Chanhassen all-time leading scorer Callan Hake. We actually broadcast that occurrence last year here on CHBN. You and I did. That should be a fun one this Friday right here on CHBN. Here's Tyler Bugan for three, the Hawks senior. First varsity points.
All right, Tyler. Yeah, Chanhassen, they go with their two big guards, and that's Callan and Madison Hicks, who, watching them last week against Waconia, they were just absolutely fantastic. Madison's another good outside shooter, but just a great ball handler, all-state golfer too.
Yep.
So, those two are, their biggest scorers. They just have a bunch of, different players that each are going to every night do a little something different. And another first-year coach, Kayla Walsh, all-state player at Wayzata, started her college career at Iowa, Winona State then finished. So a lot of good things coming from her too. She brings that personality that'll work well with that team.
Dana Coleman has his bench emptied. Matthew Coleman, Ben LeSueur, Tyler Bugan, Matthew Paul, and Grant Atkinson on the floor for the Hawks. Here's a bucket from Caden Byron, the senior. Saw Tyler Bugan with his first varsity points on a corner three just a minute ago. We approach a 2-minute mark here on this Tuesday night Metro West Conference basketball between the Chaska Hawks and the Kennedy Eagles. Say we do want to thank once again the Rome team. Emily and Jan are known for their service, integrity, and results. Call the Rome team for all your real estate service needs or visit them online, www.rometeamrealestate.com. Grant Atkinson gets involved for the Hawks. The big 6'7" senior.
He's got a few inches on his brother Clay, old cornerback for the football team.
Yep. Caden Byron's three-point shot was a good 5 feet short, and Jameen Cook calls timeout. It's just going to be for substitutions, though, and allow him to empty his bench. Ben LeSueur will enter the ball for Ben. I keep wanting to say Ben Coleman. It's Matthew Coleman.
It's going to take some time, right?
Yep. Enough Colemans for us to call the last few years. Here's Matthew Paul, who enters, kicks out for LeSueur, down low for Atkinson. Atkinson, right hand, no good.
Good strong take.
Loose ball, yeah. That's going to go out of bounds off of Kennedy. Yep, good call. Right off the heel of the Kennedy defender. And it's an awkward inbound location here. Horn sounds again. We'll get a sub. That's Shabab Freetek. That's my best attempt at that name. 61 seconds here. It's a 63-37 game. Atkinson, all 6-7 of them needed to catch that inbound pass. Hands off for Coleman. Coleman into the corner.
On the line.
LeSueur with a toe on, yep. Rebound by Bugan, who goes back up, and then he's fouled. 2 free throws coming up for the Chaska senior Tyler Bugan.
Met Tyler's dad many years ago. He was the first person who called me from the Boston Marathon when there was the bombing. He had to cross the finish line. I made a phone, on Twitter, I made a call out, and he's like, "I'm here," and he told me his story. And
longtime neighbors of the Paul family,
both
at our old house on the east side of Chaska and on the west side of Chaska.
4 points for number 4.
Yep. Good to see always when the Chaska bench gets involved. 40 seconds left. Matthew Coleman's going to run this one up. Kickoff. Here's Bugan again. He takes it in. Outside. Paul pulling up for 3. That's good. Matthew Paul for 3.
Purple shoes and all.
Yep. His dad's favorites.
Goes really well with orange hair.
Trust me, it's not the easiest thing to match with. I know very well. 15 ticks left, and Chaska will be 2-0. Long 3 from Pearson is short. Bugan the rebound. Under 10 to play. Hawks nearly turn it over, but they get the call on the sideline inbounds on the near side here. 4.8 left between Chaska and a 2-0 2021 start. The Hawks take that 2-0 record into Chanhassen on Friday night and into a very tough non-conference schedule coming down the stretch. They need to really take advantage of these Metro West Conference games, Eric.
Well, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. You want to see some development from that next group, that group that's new to the varsity. And these games are great for that. You saw some good things from Lyles on Thursday last week. You saw some good things from a bunch of guys today. So I think it's that development. So by the end of the year, when a very, very winnable Section 2, if there isn't a tournament, they'll get a shot to go to state.
Yep. Strong night from Luke Strazzani, who led scoring but for both teams, and it was good to see the Chaska bench get involved. Say, Eric, we'll see you Friday night for Chaska and Chanhassen in the girls' game. Here's a quick update from the boys' hockey game. Hill Murray leads Chaska 3-1 with 5 minutes left in the middle period from the Chaska Community Center. Say, if you're looking for boys basketball on Friday night, head over to Chanhassen's live streaming page. For Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network, you can come right back here. We'll have the girls matchup, Chaska and Chanhassen on Friday night. Say, we do want to thank the Rome team who have helped thousands of families expertly transition into a new home. Emily and Jan are known for their service, integrity, and results, and they partner with clients to prepare, price, and sell their homes. Whether you're buying or selling a home, put the Rome team to work for you. That's RomeTeamRealEstate.com to learn more. Eric, final thoughts before we sign off here tonight from Chaska High School.
Yeah, I mean, good start for the Hawks. I think the second half was more indicative of what this team is all about. And so, like I said, I think the complacency may have came into play a little bit. They fell flat a little bit, but they finished with a great second half, held a team to 37 points. Good things ahead for this Chaska team.
Yep. Chaska handles Kennedy with ease this evening. We'll be back right here from Chaska High School on Friday night for girls varsity basketball. The Hawks and the Storm in the District 112 border battle. For Brett Johnson, Eric Krauscher, I'm Ryan Paul saying so long tonight from Chaska High School. We'll see you back here on Friday night. Have a good night.